Hey everyone, it's James of geometriccharts.com. February 1st. This is the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. So first of all, video is not investment advice. Second of all, I still think there's a decent amount of weakness in this market. We've had a little bit of saves in the market as we went on the decline, pump up, pump again. One thing I've noticed is that the volume coming in has definitely been leaving just as fast. And on this second wave up, we definitely have a low amount of volume coming into Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's not able to break and stay trading above about 3,600, I think it's just going to chop more than likely sideways. But I think it's just inevitable that Bitcoin is going to come back downward. There's just not a lot of strength here. And it almost looks like the same repetitive pattern over and over. Chop, 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 drop, chop, 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 drop, chop, 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 drop. How long it lasts, I have no idea. The way I look at this is that I kind of look at it in the way that the exchanges are having a field day, pumping price around, pumping and dumping it, leaving everyone very confused, leaving trading very tight, very choppy, obviously racking up commission fees from their traders, utilizing their platforms. That's what I imagine. To me, that seems like the most logical reasoning on why we see this. The same thing, like I feel like what we're seeing here is a repetition of what we saw at 6,000, and there's just no way that we're going to see the duplication of something like this almost to a T if it wasn't managed. So I think it's highly managed, and I think it's to the benefit of the exchanges whipping traders around. Obviously big players too as well, just pumping and dumping into retail traders or even other big players. I definitely think it's a battle, but at the end of the day, the overarching theme is weakness. So some of the alts popping up, everything pretty much right in line. Like if you look at the charts of everything else, most of the things look identical. Some things are kind of diverging a little bit, but a majority of what is out there is about in line with what Bitcoin is doing here. Again, I'm just seeing a lot of weakness in this market. If all of a sudden Bitcoin is smashing through 3,600 with strength, it's going to knock out the bearish divergence that it's currently under in the indicators like the stochastics, the RSI. There's just a lot of weakness in the momentum, a lot of weakness in the volume, and obviously the chart spells it out for you too. So the biggest thing I can say is just a lot of caution. Now, most weekends are very choppy and volatile and mainly horizontal at the end of the day, meaning Friday to Sunday typically gets completely negated no matter what the heck happens. I say that, though, and it's kind of funny. I talk about the volatility, but you look at the chart, and it's just nothing but a series of volatility, pumps and dumps. So as of now, I'm still going to be short-term bearish, longer-term bearish, and I think that all we're doing here is just providing a little bit of a relief rally, aka Guppy rally, to essentially lead to the next leg down. The same way they pump this up to lead to another leg down, they pump this up to lead to another leg down. That's kind of where I think we're at. We're just in this series of little pumps to just accumulate that bullish momentum, and then bam, hammer the market out, dump right into it, knock it back down another level, like just basically a stair-stepping pattern. It's pretty much where I see we're at. If for some reason there's some magnificent upside and an influx of volume and, I don't even know, unicorns are flying all over the place, then maybe I'm going to change my perspective on what I think is happening in Bitcoin. But other than that, at the end of the day, the biggest thing I could do is just caution everyone who is bullish on Bitcoin at this level, because there is a lot of weakness momentum-wise, volume-wise, and obviously you can see how that translated into the chart as we are stepping down. We're not making higher highs, we're making lower lows. And we've been making lower lows since 20,000. So it's been a solid year of lower lows. and a continuation even longer. So again, the theme is weakness, but if 3,600 gets smashed through, price is trading above it, there's sustained volume, we're staying above that range, things could start to change as we could find a little bit of a bottoming area for maybe a bigger relief rally. But I still think in the longer term picture, there's further downside for Bitcoin. And I say this because I definitely think there's over 3,900 cryptocurrencies out there. No way in hell are those all going to stay around. There's no way. So what I think is happening in the grand picture of all of this is that there is a massive thrashing happening. And I definitely think it's manufactured. I'm not even going to say whether. I definitely think it's manufactured. More than likely, the banking cartel is behind it, but who knows? At the end of the day, we have exchanges, banking cartel. I don't even care. At the end of the day, the puppet masters, we can call them, I think, are pulling the strings to cause chaos in this market and consolidate power and provide opportunity to themselves. And I think that is why we see the erratic price action in Bitcoin, in the cryptocurrency market, why there's no oversight, why there will be no oversight until they are done. There are no laws to abide by at all. It's the damn Wild Wild West, and they are going to make the best of it. And there's still going to be money to be made both ways, don't get me wrong. But it's going to be very difficult as they're thrashing this market around up and down, and crushing altcoins while consolidating power to a few. And I imagine that in the longer picture, there will be consolidated to maybe a handful, maybe a little bigger than a handful, I don't know. But I imagine those 3,900, a large majority of them are going to disappear. Probably 95% of them will disappear over time. Projects will just go without funding, etc. They'll just baseline and no one will ever talk about them again like they never, ever existed. So that's what I see. And that's why I still remain bearish on Bitcoin. It's not just from the chart. I mean, look at, I zoom out here. And obviously, I mean, the chart tells you enough. It's telling you the story right now. Hey, I'm dying. I'm trying to survive, but I'm basically dying. And again, I think there's a deeper meaning behind it. I see the value in cryptocurrency and the replacement of fiat and etc. Perfect, great for global currency control, just understanding of what your citizens are doing, etc. There's a lot of different facets to the benefits of cryptocurrency, and the anonymous factor is gone, completely gone. Like that was like a pipe dream for people, but and it will be gone in the future as well too. So I see the benefit of it, and I see the future of cryptocurrency taking everything over. I mean, it's boundless in that sense. So it's the perfect currency, but if it's going to survive, there's no way in heck 3,900 or over 3,900 currencies can be out there. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Imagine trying to keep track of that. Imagine how long you'd have to scroll on your phone just to kind of choose which one you wanted to use. It'd be absolute insanity. So anyways, that's what I see in the grander picture. That's why I say I'm a long-term bear. That's why I've been bearish on this market since I started doing this way back in, when did I start? Like in the end of, I think it was like the end of January, right before we got this massive downside into 6,000. Yeah, right around there. But so anyways, that's it. Sorry to make kind of a long video, but I just want to put it out there. That's why I feel the way I do in the grand picture of everything. It's just, there's just too many options out there, and too many options leads to paralysis, leads to chaos, and not the right way. There's just way too many options out there. So consolidate the power, rebuild the market, and then allow it to flourish in the future. And that's kind of what I think we're doing. We're just knocking everyone out, returning to a normalization, returning to a baseline, and then eventually moving upward. I think if it was going to collapse, it would have already done that. It's definitely a bubble. Like we experienced a massive bubble in cryptocurrency. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt that there could be much more downside, talking 1,000, maybe even sub 1,000. I don't know. Depending on what happens, things could change and that whole analysis could be blown out the window. The point is that there's no change yet. So you can only just continuously expect further downside in a stair-stepping process in a very chaotic way to just chop people out back and forth as the power is being consolidated. But anyways, that's it. I'll produce another video on Monday. As of now, most weekends don't really do much, so I don't think you're going to miss much going into the weekend. I gave everyone the figures to look for. At the end of the day, there's more than likely just going to try to chop in this area, but the overarching theme is weakness. And unfortunately, that tune has not changed since I've been talking about Bitcoin for quite some time. There were some times where I thought it was changing, and I was horribly let down. So I'll talk to everybody on Monday. Hope you have a great week, great weekend. Great night, great day, depending on where you are in the world. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. If you do like the videos, please like, comment, subscribe, follow. And again, I'll talk to everyone on Monday.